Hey everybody, it's Chris here, and today we have another deck list for everybody. So, I want to start off this video by apologizing. I know it's been a while since my last video to this one, but I don't have, you know, a lot of money, like working day to day. I gotta wait to have a paycheck to, buy more packs, make more decks. So, it'd be like an every other week, about like basically 2 videos a month is what you could expect. So, I've been trying my best to keep to that schedule. But otherly, the other bigger issue is trying to get footage lately for decks is really hard because right now we have a lot of these AFK bots going around where people are just stalling out games forever, and it's just annoying trying to get footage, to be honest with you. So with all that out of the way, let's get in today's deck profile. So today's deck profile is P.U.N.K Orcust. So yeah, I'm bringing Orcust to rank, and this is my deck list. It's kind of crazy. It's a lot of fun. I hope everybody enjoys. Let's get to the card by card though. So firstly, I am running 2 Orcust Brass. This card, the actual graveyard effect doesn't come up too much, but it is a Hulk target, and that's why I use it a lot. So you can banish this card from your graveyard, special summon 1 Orcust monster from your hand, except itself. Also, you can't special summon monsters for the rest of their turn except Dark. So it does lock you into Dark, but it is a good, kind of special summon for the hand effect. But they think it's level 1 tuner, and it is a really good Hulk target. So you kind of do need to run at least one of these. We got a really good normal summon. We're running 3 Scrap Recyclers. Sorry about that, rearranging my chair. 3 Scrap Recyclers, though. When this card is normal or special summon, you can send 1 machine monster from your deck to the graveyard. Once per turn, you can shuffle 2 level 4 machine monsters from your graveyard into the deck to draw 1 card. This card is great for the Foolish Burial effect. Simply, you could just dump a 1 machine from your deck to the graveyard. Usually, that target, if you don't have him already in rotation, will be Orcust Nightmare, and that will get 8 other cards in rotation really well. It's a great card, definitely worth going. We got 3 Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, just a great hand trap. We got 2 Orcust Skeleton symbol. So Orcust Skeleton, really good card. I'm only running 2 instead of 3. I think 2 is a great, just a great one. But basically, you can banish this card from your graveyard, target 1 Orcust monster in your graveyard, accept itself, and special summon it. Also, you can't special summon monsters for the rest of this turn except Dark monsters. Really great card, definitely worth running. We got 1 Psychic Wielder. This allows us, one, it is an instant fusion, emergency teleport target, and other than that, it is an extender where you already have a psychic monster on the field, which we do play quite a bit of psychic monsters, so it's a nice card to have one of. So we got 1 we got 1 P.U.N.K Spider. Spider is a really cool card. You can pay 600 life points to add 1 P.U.N.K trap to your hand, and basically you're adding the P.U.N.K Dangerous trap. In this card, you can target 1 effect monster your opponent controls and negates its effect. So it's a nice interruption to have. And it's searchable through Lemaine. We're running 3 Lemaine, by the way. 3 P.U.N.K Lemaine is basically almost 4 combo in this deck. You can pay 600 life points, add 1 P.U.N.K monster from your deck to your hand, except itself. And basically, you pay 600 life points and you want to add Foxy Tune to your hand. Foxy Tune's effect, you want to discard it plus 1 other card, ideally an Orcust if you have it. And then you want to search out and special summon Spider. Spider's effect will get you a dangerous. Then you could easily take these 2 cards, go into Hulk. Hulk will bring out Bombird. Bombird plus Hulk will get you Galatea. So that's kind of the line that for those cards. So then you have Galatea, and you have the trap interruption. Then you still have a lot of plays to do after that, depending on what you sent in the first place. We got 1 Hop Horror. Hop Horror is at 1, so we can only run 1. You can banish this card from your graveyard, special summon 1 Orcust monster from your deck, except itself. Also, you can't special summon for the rest of the turn except for Dark monsters. Really broken card, definitely worth running 1. Then we got 1 Gearsu, the Orcust Mech Knight. When this card's normal special summon, you could send 1 Orcust or Word Legacy card from your deck to their graveyard. Yet again, arguably be the best normal summon in the deck for that Force Barrier effect. Then if you have 2 or more cards in this card's column, you can treat it as a tuner. That never comes up. And if you control no other monsters, you can special summon 1 Ward Legacy token to both players' fields. Yeah, this is a great card. You definitely want to run one of them. We got 1 Artifact Scythe. It's for our Artifact Dagda plays. Every now and then, you could easily end up with, you know, Galatea, the Trap, plus Life Set with, you like DPE and stuff like that. So Scythe is just to have just in case. If you want to do, you lock your opponent out for extra deck, but you can cut it. We do got 1 Destiny Hero, Celestial, and Dasher for our Fusion Destiny targets. Then we got 2 Nightmare. Nightmare is a really good card. Can't be destroyed by battle with a Link monster. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 face-up monster on the field. You can't special summon monsters except dark monsters the rest of the turn. Also send 1 dark machine monster from your deck to the graveyard, except itself. And the idea is the monster you want to send would be Ward Wand. Ward Wand then could special summon a monster. Anyway, I'll get to Ward Wand now. So Ward Legacy, Ward Wand is really cool. You're never really summoning this card, but what it is this card sent to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 Ward Legacy monster from your hand. That effect would never come up in this deck. But what does come up is you could banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 of your banished Orcust monsters, special summon it. Also, you can't special summon the rest of the turn except dark monsters. So basically, you can banish this card from your graveyard, target 1 of your banished Orcust, that's any of your Orcust cards, and then special summon that card. And that allows you to go into your plays even more. Really great card, definitely worth running. Then, lastly, we got 2, lastly, we got 2 extenders of the deck. Mech Knight Purple. I'm really running 2 of them. Basically, you have 2 cards, 2 or more cards on the same column. You can special summon this card from your hand in that column. And the rest of the effect doesn't matter. We're only using it for an extender to go into more plays. So, and that's it for the monsters. And then for our spells, we got 1 Foolish Burial. We got 1 for 1. We are running 2 Orchestrated Return. You can send 1 Orcust or Legacy monster from your hand or face up from the field to the graveyard. Draw 2 cards. 2 Fusion Destiny. 1 Babel. This makes all of our Orcust cards on the field or in the graveyard quick effects, which is really good. The other effect really doesn't come up that often, but this is a really decent card to say the least. We got 2 Emergency Teleport. Emergency Teleport by itself allows us to go into the main, and that's basically full combo right there. Really good. We got 2 Called by Grave to get rid of like Max C or your opponent's Ash if you want to, you know, not disrupt your plays. We got 1 Punk Dangerous and 1 Cristino. Cristino for a trap is really good. When a spell or trap a card or monster effect is activated while you control Orcust Link monster, you can negate the activation. And if you do, you banish that card. You can banish this card from your graveyard to add 1 of your Dark Machine monsters that is banished or when you're decked. Really good card. You can use it on your opponent's end phase, so the you can't special summon cards. Activate this effect doesn't apply to you. Just be aware of that. You can use that during your opponent's end phase. Now for our extra deck, we got 1 Destiny Hero Destroyer, one of the best cards in the game right now. I know everybody's tired of people running it, but you got to right now. So we got 1 Draco Berserker of the Tinny. This card actually does come up every now and then. When the opponent activates a monster effect, you can banish it. If this card, its attacking card destroys an effect monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, this card gains that amount of attack. So it's a really hard card for some cards to get over. Plus, the once per turn, you know, you can banish it once per turn. It's really, really good. So, just, yeah. We got 1 Baron the Floor. This card does come up every now and then, but not often, but you can make it. We got 1 Digirsu. Digirsu is truly amazing. This card has actually come up quite a bit. You can only special summon Digirsu, the Orcust of the Evening Star, once per turn. You can only exceed this card by using an Orcust Link monster you control as material. If a monster you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you could detach 1 material from this card instead. If this card is special summoned, you could activate one of these effects. This effect is amazing. You can send 1 card your opponent controls to the graveyard. That's non-targeting removal. It's non-targeting, non-destruction. It's just send it to the graveyard. And that does get over cards like DPE, because DPE, if it's sent to the graveyard, it has to be destroyed. If this card is destroyed by battle card effect. So to get into Gearsu just sends it. So like, anyway, it's amazing, definitely worth running. We got 1 Hulk, we got 1 Cerberus, 1 Phoenix, 1 Galatea. This card can't be destroyed by battle. You can target 1v banished machine monsters, shuffle into the deck, and if you do, set 1 Orcust trap or spell directly from your deck. That allows us to get into our Cristido really easily. We got 1 IP Masquerena. This card's amazing. Ideally, your first turn is you want to end on Galatea, Orcust, Cristido, Dangerous, and Masquerena. You want to end all 4 of those cards. Then on your opponent's turn, you could easily link off Masquerena and Galatea into something else, like a Mech Knight Crustadia. So, yeah, Masquerena, very great card, definitely worth it. We got 1 Dagda. Dagda allows us to set 1 artifact card from our deck to our spawn trap zone, and our target for that would be Scythe right here. Then we got 1 Predator Anaconda. That allows us to go into our Fusion Destiny plays. We got 1 Longirsu. This card doesn't come up that often, but I do like to have 1 just in case. This card can't be destroyed by battle by card, this card cannot be destroyed by card effects. You can target 2v banished machine monsters, shuffle them in the deck. Then you can send 1 link monster your opponent controls to the graveyard. By the way, that's also non-targeting removal, really good. But yet again, it has to be a linked monster, so just an FYI on that. This card can attack. This card cannot attack the turn activates its effect. It does come up every now and then. Not the best card, but really good to say the least. We got the boss monster of the deck, 1 Mech Knight Crustadia. This card is fucking hard to get over if your opponent doesn't have an out to it. While this link card on the field is on the field, your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. Also, the monsters cannot target monsters for attacks except this card. Once per battle during damage calculation, if this card battles a special summon monster, quick effect, you can make this card gain attack equal to that opponent's monster during the damage calculation only. If this linked summon card you control is sent to the graveyard by your opponent's card, you can shuffle 1 card on the field into the deck. It's a great bounce effect for your opponent, and then on top of that, it's just really hard to get over if they don't have kaijus or they have to find a way to somehow attack over it with the non-special summon monster. Really good card. Then we got 1 Apollosa. Does come up every now and then as a good monster negate. Then we got, to close out games, 1 Axis Kotaku. Like I said, just to kind of close out games. And that's it for the whole deck. I hope everybody enjoys. And yeah, for the next video, I think we're going to be doing more Orcust shenanigans, but I might be wrong on that. But I'll keep everybody in the loop. I don't know. Might be more punk decks. I don't know what's going on. I have like 20 decks I've been playing with. So it's, yeah, kind of bear with me. We're going to have a lot of content coming out. So I do hope you all enjoy. And let's get into the games. Alright guys, Chris Rose here. Into this first game, it's going to be against, I think, Red Eyes, if I remember correctly. It was a really interesting Red Eyes build. And yeah, we'll see what happens. So my opponent's going first. It's going to be interesting. He activates Sacred Sword with the 7. He does banish his Red Eyes Black Flare. I do ash that. I don't want him to draw in cards. He's down to 3. Let's see what happens. I have no more negates, by the way. So at this point, I have no more interruptions. He activates Pot of Desires, banishing 10 cards. Draw 2. Not looking good. He activates Into the Void. Alright. Now, Red Eyes Instinct. He sends Red Eyes Black Dragon to the graveyard to get a Red Eyes Fusion. Alright. He activates Red Eye Fusion. Sending Red Eyes and Meteor Dragon, and now he has a Meteor Black Comet. He sends Red Eyes, deals quite a bit of damage. Fucking hell, a lot just happened there. So he activated the card Dark Word Dealing to each player draw 1 and discard 1. I discarded Nightmare and I drew Fusion, and then he set 2. Alright, so now I have 2 of the mains, 1 for 1. I have a pretty good hand, actually. I do discard me, get rid of my domain. I do get Bombird and activate Nightmare, targeting it, banishing it, sending a Ward Wand. Activate the Ward Wand, banishing it, targeting a Nightmare, special summoning that back. And at this point, I am going to link off into a Galatea. Galatea is going to target Wand, sending it back, and I do set the Cristido. At this point, Lemane's effect, I'm going to take 800. Foxy Tune's effect, I'm going, not Foxy Tune, I do get in my hand Eye Trap. I'm stuck on Darks. I do activate Fusion Destiny, go into Destiny Phoenix Enforcer. Phoenix Enforcer, I do target my back row, target my monster, plus his back row to get rid of stuff. He draws one. At this point, he activates Pile of Desires. I do let that through. I use Cristido to go through. Yeah, to destroy Spot Desires. Oh, my commentary is just terrible this game. Has been a while. He sets one. He goes to attack my Galatea. I am going to destroy Galatea and his Black Comet. Black Comet effects is going to special summon a monster, but I'm not really caring about that. He does normal summon it before he ends. Destiny Phoenix first destroys itself, but he will come back in the next turn. I draw Foolish Burial. Destiny Phoenix first comes back, feeling pretty good. Nightmare, I'm going to gain life points. Send Wand. Foolish Burial at this point, I'm going to send Hop Horror. Now I do Wand's effect. I do bring back the Nightmare yet again. The recyclability of Orcust is amazing. I use Hop Horror's effect. I'm going to special summon from the deck, and I do get Girsu. Girsu is going to dump Skeleton. Skeleton's effect, I'm going to get rid of it to get Galatea back. At this point, I'm going to link into Girsu. Girsu's effect, I am going to shuffle one, send one to the graveyard. Now I go into IP Masquerena for my next turn. So now I'm pretty good board altogether. He can't really do too much. I'm going to activate Phoenix Enforcer, just get rid of his whole field. Activate, and now my opponent's going to draw his last card. Phoenix Enforcer comes back. And at this point, my opponent really has no place. He ends his turn. And I'm not going to BM. I'm just going to attack for a game and call it good. And there we go. That was an interesting game, to say the least. And yeah, I hope you all enjoy. Let's get into the next one. Alright, the second game is against Speedroid, if I remember correctly. I think it was, but so yeah, this was an interesting one. It is quicker than the last one, so we'll see what happens. My opponent goes first. I had terrible luck with the die. He activates Wind Channeler's effect. He discards another Wind Channeler. I'm going to Ash that. So I'm not going to let Wind Channeler go through so he can special summon Monster. And now he's down 2 Wind Channelers, so kind of worked out in my favor. At this point, he goes into Marble. He does get a card. He gets to get Takabama. He does activate Carl Turbo, special summons it, and he special summons Takatombo. Now he gets Dindin. Then he goes into High Speed Haguga. He does Synchro off into a Crystal Ring. That's only a negate at the moment. He does banish to special summon back to Carl Turbo. He activates his effect to bring back one more. Alright, he does link off into High Speed Void Rubber Bander. Rubber Band is going to banish one to reveal some cards. He does get one to his deck. Double Yo-Yo goes to the graveyard, and at this point he special summons Marble. So all he has is one monster in the game. I could break that. I go to Sap Recycler, send Nightmare. He let that go through. Interesting. Nightmare's effect, send Ward's effect. I am going to get the Nightmare back. And at this point, I'm going to link off into a Galatea. Galatea's effect. Nope, I went straight to the Orcust, Girsu, and I'm going to attack over his clear ring. I'm surprised he let all that go through. I activate one for one, getting rid of Symbol Skeleton. Symbol Skeleton's effect, I am going to banish it to bring back the Nightmare, and at that point, my opponent concedes. I don't know why my opponent let me do all that. I had plays around it if he did negate something, but he waited way too long. He should have just negated. But hey, let's get into the next game. Alright, this last game here is against Synchron. I actually really like this deck, and I'm actually building it myself for a future video. Mine's different than his, but I still like it. So I actually go first, and this hand is not the best. I activate Scrap Recycler. I send Hop Horror and send Hop Horror's effect. I'm going to banish it to special summon Girsu. Girsu is going to send a card, but he ashes the Girsu. I'm like, alright, that sucks, but not the end of the word still. At this point, I'm going to link off into the Galatea. the Galatea's effect is going to activate. I'm going to shuffle back the Hop Horror. I do get return instead. I'm going to get rid of the Ward Legacy and draw 2 cards. At this point, I'm going to set the Constido and Call by the Grave. Not the best plays, but I have to do something. He's going to activate Tuning. I do let that go through, and he gets a Junk Synchron. He does use effect to bring back Max C. I do Constido that to negate. I'm like, I can't let that go through. And at that point, his Junk Synchron will get banished. He activates Black Garden. I'm like, I'm not enjoying this. He uses Junk Converter to discard to special summon, but I'm going to call by the Grave Junk Converter. Yet again, I don't want them to go through. He only has 1 card left in hand. I don't know if he can do anything. He actually ends his turn perfect. I don't know if I'll be able to kill him because of Black Garden, but I'm going to try my best. I summon Lemaine. He does get a token. Lemaine's effect, I'm going to get Spider. I'm going to activate Foxy Tune's effect, get rid of itself, and what else did I get rid of? Itself and the other call. What? Itself and Lemaine. Okay, so I got rid of itself and Spider to get another Zemaine. He does get another token. I do special summon the Wheeler. He does get another token. At this point, I'm going to link off into a Dagda. Dagda's effect is going to activate. I can set the Scythe. Black Rose, he's going to get yet another token. There's the Scythe. Black Garden, there's his token. At this point, I'm going to link those 2 off into a Predator Anaconda. Yet again, there's another token. Anaconda's effect, I'm going to Fusion Destiny at this point, sending 2 cards, and then I'll get Phoenix Enforcer. Feeling pretty good, but yet again, this card's just getting annoying. I am going to attack over 2 of his tokens, main phase 2. I am going to get rid of his Black Garden and my Anaconda, just in case he has a Super Poly. He activates Junk Synchron. At this point, I misplayed, but it's all good. He does go to Stars Dragon. Why I misplayed is when he activated Junk Synchron, I should have just activated Destiny Hero, destroyed it, and that, you know what I mean. I should have just started destroying some stuff, but didn't think of it. I activate Crescendo's effect at this point to grab a Hop Horror to my hand for next turn. He activates his battle, and he just concedes at that point. I think he conceded because he realized Stars Dragon really wasn't out, because I could just continue bringing it back. And next turn, I did have more plays to go through. But overall, that was a fun game, and we'll go into the next one. Alright, this is the last duel of the video. Like I said, I know some of these duels aren't as exciting because it's kind of hard to play people right now with all these bots going around. So this last one was against a Starborn deck. It was interesting, and we'll see how he does. So he sets 2 and sets a monster. That's it. It's my go. Don't have the best hand to activate return. I do get rid of the Symbol Skeleton. Draw 2, activate 1 for 1. I do get rid of the Wand and get Bombar. Now I'm going to activate Scrap Recycle. I do send a Nightmare. At this point, I'm going to go into Galatea. I'm going to activate Nightmare. Targeting Galatea, I send Hop Horror. I activate Ward Wand, get rid of that to get back the Nightmare. And at this point, I'm going to activate Horror. And I'm going to special summon Gearsu. Gearsu's effect, I'm going to send a Symbol Skeleton. I activate Galatea's effect to get rid of it, to get Bamble on the field. Bamble's effect is going to allow me to make all my stuff quick effects. At this point, I go to IP Masquerena. Feeling pretty good. I'm going to link those 2 off for an Access Code Talker. Yet again, just trying to go for the game at this point. Activate Access Code Talker. I'm going to stop popping his back row. I activate 1, got rid of his Ring of Destruction. Interesting. At this point, I activate Symbol Skeleton's effect, and I go into Gearsu's effect. I'm going to get rid of his other back row, because I don't know what it is. It's Starlight Road. And he has a Marshmallow. Oh my goodness. Alright. Interesting. At this point, I'm going to link off into the Predator Anaconda. Anaconda's effect, Fusion Destiny. I'm going to get a Phoenix Enforcer, and he concedes. Yeah, that was an interesting one. I actually really enjoyed that, but yeah, not often you see Marshmallow, played. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed, guys. The next video, I'm not sure exactly what it would be. I might post it in the comments. But everybody, thank you all for the support. I'll see you all next time.